morning, Hanoi. Welcome.
Okay, I gotta put
Welcome
this
to our
no.
2024 Asia Pacific Community Meeting.
Sorry.
My name is Gina Gobeyn. I'm the new Executive Director of the PCI Security Standards Council. I started with the organization in January, and while I'm new in my role, I'm not new to PCI. In fact, prior to joining, I was the Chief Risk Management Officer for the payments business at Discover. But my journey with the council actually starts with its launch. I was fortunate enough to be part of the team at Discover in the effort to launch the council as a founding member. In fact, it was actually the mission of PCI that drove me to want to pursue the opportunity to work with Discover. The desire for the industry to come together to work on something so special as global security standards to protect payments is something that personally and professionally was very meaningful and important to me. And this was at a time in 2006, believe it or not, merchant breaches were new and they were growing in number. Merchants had the obligation to protect the data, but not necessarily all merchants knew what that meant or how to go about doing so. Merchants had to comply with each payment brand security standards, very complex, very hard to understand, and certainly an effort to achieve compliance with all 5. And so we recognized as an industry, security was all of our priority, an industry priority, and that we all had an important responsibility in making that a reality. We had to find ways to reduce complexity, but also to increase collaboration. And so we heard from our stakeholders that we needed one standard. And we know that bad actors were working together. We as an industry needed to work together as well. Now, once we launched the council, my job at Discover was really to help build out the PCI supporting programs. I had the opportunity to work on the education, awareness, and compliance enforcement program for Discover, Diners Club International, and the Pulse Network. We worked to create, unfortunately, account data compromise programs as well. So working with the team to help identify where we thought potential breaches were occurring, work with that partner to contain that breach, remediate, and also help them on their journey to security as well as compliance. With time, I had responsibility for fraud incident response, fraud risk management, and oversight of all risk on Discover Network, Pulse, and Diners Club International. In these roles, I saw the impact of what happens when one of our partners experiences a breach. I see the financial impact, the fraud, but also the reputational risk, right? The damage it does to even customers' confidence in continuing to shop with that merchant. On the flip side, I also had the opportunity to see what happens when an industry comes together to work collaboratively on best practices, sharing thoughts, and creating standards together to help minimize the impact of a breach or prevent those breaches. In my time here on the executive committee in my role at Discover, I had the unique opportunity to help shape the priorities and the goals of the council, but doing so with my partners' voices in mind, our merchants, our acquirers, our issuers, and our other network alliances, helping to share information about where they were seeing security vulnerabilities, where we may need to address some additional support to provide guidance, education, support internationally, but also where payments were going, where the innovation was taking place, and what we may need to do to help create standards to help support that innovation. 18 years ago, the council launched with a really important mission. I was passionate about that mission then, and I am so honored to be part of the team now as we look forward. So enough about me. Let's go ahead and get started and talk about us. So the opening video that you saw really helped set the stage for this week's community meeting. We're shaping the future of payment security, and we have come such a long way. The world certainly has changed, payments have changed. Advances in technology, payment form factors, the customer's demand for us to have convenience and frictionless experiences has really helped shape and accelerate the pace of change in our payment space. If you think about it, in 2006, very few of us were thinking about making payments with our mobile device. Even fewer of us were thinking about merchants accepting our payments with their mobile device. In fact, the internet itself, e-commerce transactions, card-not-present transactions, were still considered very risky, scary, if you will, for the merchant, for the cardholder, and the issuers. But this year, we know that retail sales are expected to exceed $6.3 trillion worldwide, and we just expect that number to continue to skyrocket. So the changes in payments over the last 18 years have been truly remarkable. And in partnership with you, our community, and our community around the globe, the Council has also done some truly remarkable work, really helping to support that innovation and those changes in payments. Together, we have created an ecosystem of qualified security professionals, and we've created the standards that help underpin the security of payments today. We've gone from PCI DSS version 1 to version 4. What started with one standard is now 15 standards and a plethora of guidance in all of the supporting programs. And we have created an ecosystem. We have qualified security assessors around the globe, forensic investigators, as well as laboratories. COVID was a bit of a tipping point for us in payments as well. COVID forced us into environments where we had less and less face-to-face transactions, and so online payments became more of the norm. We used less cash, we avoided cash, we had less physical interactions. Our fintechs, the innovators or the disruptors, if you think of it like that, in our space, continued to expand their service offerings. We had a demand for contactless, not just driven by our payment brands, but by consumers and merchants alike, normalizing again the use of phones for accepting and making our payments. And so through all of these changes and in partnership with this community, the Council has been supporting the industry through these changes and helping to shape what payment security looks like. Now, in just the last 18 months, we know that technology continues to advance, the pace of change continues to accelerate, but increasingly, this pace of change and these advancements are coming from new thought leaders in our space, new innovators. And for the Council, it's critical that we have those thought leaders at our table. In the last 18 months, the Council has expanded our governance structure. Essentially, we have made more room at the table for the thought leaders within our industry to join us at the Council. We have more voices from more sectors, and we're working to enable those thought leaders to help contribute with the Council on the continuous of contributing to the shaping what our security standards look like. In just the last 18 months, the Council's Board of Advisors has doubled in size. Now, these advisors, they're representing all of you. They are elected by you, and they represent your payment segment, and they represent a global marketplace. I want you to know that we are coming upon the next term, the election process for seating a new Board of Advisors. So please, if you have questions, please see us at the booth. We wouldn't want you to miss that opportunity. But you will see a commitment to have continued engagement with our Board of Advisors. It's in fact, our Board of Advisors help shape even what we bring to you and how we best use our time face-to-face. PAX, as an example, has been a long partner with the Council and currently is a representative on our Board of Advisors. Also, in the last 18 months, the Council has restructured the participating organization program. We've introduced tiers. We have associate participating organizations, principal participating organizations, and individual participating organizations. And these tiers are based on the amount of engagement that you would like to have with the council. I'm excited to report that we have over 35 principal participating organizations working with the council today. And these are some of the most innovative and influential thought leaders in the payments industry. We're excited to share that Sun Partners has recently joined us as a principal participating organization. So it really is this expanded stakeholder engagement that does position the council best to understand and plan for what's next. What does our industry look like in the next few years? 5 years or 10 years? Where are our payments going? What are the security vulnerabilities on the technologies for payments that have yet to be envisioned? Well, as we navigate this fast-changing payments landscape, our stakeholder engagement is the key to our success. Our board of advisors in their 2-year term, they help shape and support the priorities and the goals that the council works on in the near term. And in collaboration with our principal participating organizations, they are advisors that help shape and share with us what we can begin to expect on the horizon, how we can, as a council, plan for and begin to execute on the priorities of tomorrow. It's these thought leaders and you, our community, that's helping the council get it right. So, in my new role, I've been obviously thinking a lot about what the next 18 months looks like. I am mindful that the pace of change will continue to accelerate. We will see increased technology advancements, and those technology changes will be driven by those new thought leaderships at our table. And all along, we will still have a very opportunistic bad actor looking to exploit the vulnerabilities in our payments. And in my new role, what I'd like to say is I am committed for the council to stay forward-looking, and the way we're going to do that is to continue to optimize the way that we work with you, our community, and the way we engage the thought leaders in our industry, and changing the way we work to be able to accommodate that kind of thought leader at our table. So, a priority for me over the next 18 months is really building upon the strengths of the council, but also looking for opportunities to invest in our future. Now, within the first few months of me being on board, I will say that I recognized an opportunity for us to continue to invest in our leadership team. I have been able to bring on 2 very talented people to help us shape and optimize the way we engage with this community and enhancing the way we're delivering our products to the market, our standards, our solutions, our programs, our training, and our certifications. And so earlier this year, we were able to announce 2 new roles, PCI's Head of Engagement and PCI's Head of Product and Technology. Oops. And today, I have the opportunity to introduce you to 2 very wonderful professionals who have extensive experience in our industry. Please help me welcome Diana Greenhaw and Deanne Zettler to the stage. Fantastic. So Diana Greenhaw is our new Head of Engagement. And Diana is a natural fit. She has been a crucial voice in our industry for many years. I first met Diana when she was on the executive committee for the council in her role with Visa as the Vice President of Global Payment Security Risk. More recently, Diana actually was a representative of our board of advisors in her role for Block. So she has literally sat in your seat. Diana knows our community, she knows payments in and out, and in her new role, she will oversee all aspects of engagement with our stakeholders, our networks, financial institutions, merchant service providers, vendors, and regulators across the globe. Deanne Zettler is joining the council as PCI's Head of Product and Technology. Deanne comes to the council with over 25 years' experience in the financial services industry, leading technology, strategies, solutions, and operations. Deanne is also no stranger to our community, having spent most of her career at Discover, where she led the Global Technology Delivery Office, helping to bring forward our payments products and services. Most recently, Deanne has been consulting, focusing her efforts on strategy, efficiencies, and transformation. Now, many of your company, most of our industry has moved to becoming more agile. And these are the principles that the council is beginning to adopt. This is the expertise that Deanne brings to the council, and she will help shepherd our transformation along those lines. So it is my pleasure to introduce this team. This is the team that is responsible for helping to transform the council. We're going to be looking at how to best operationalize and optimize our engagement with our community and our industry thought leaders, and helping us to evolve the way we work to really harness that thought leadership at the council. I'm excited to introduce you to both, and first I will turn it over to Diana, allowing her to introduce herself to you, but also speak to you a little bit about her vision for her role.
Thank you, Gina. As noted, I really have been in your seat. I am excited to be here today, and when I say here, I mean up on this stage with Gina and Deanne. Just 1 year ago, I was sitting in the audience like you are today in Kuala Lumpur, and in each role I've held over the years, I've always felt that the PCI community meetings are some of the most important events that we as payment security risk management professionals can attend each year. As noted, I've served on PCI's executive committee as a representative of a payment brand. I've had the opportunity to sit on the board of advisors representing a principal participating organization. When I had the opportunity to move into this role, to accept the position of head of engagement just 5 months ago, I knew this offered me an opportunity to contribute to our industry differently, to work with you to shape how PCI works with its stakeholders. I want you to think of me as your advocate on the inside. Hearing about the council's history and about the future, about where the organization is going, how it's ever evolving, I thought it was a great comparison with the Hanoi ceramic mosaic mural, a piece of artwork here in Hanoi. It stretches over 4 kilometers. It's the largest ceramic mural in the world. So when I say that I want to compare our organization to this beautiful piece of art, I think that it took 600 individuals, more than 600, to create this piece of art. It required contributions of labor, creativity, and most of all, community spirit. And that's not so different from how PCI works with its stakeholders. We come together to build something for the future. If you're visiting Hanoi and you've not had the opportunity to see this, I encourage you to take a look. It's pretty impressive. So, talking about engagement, how we're working with our stakeholders, we do have a new membership model. We have new participation opportunities. The size of the board of advisors has doubled over the last year, or over the last cycle, the 2-year cycle. And that board of advisors has always provided PCI with thought leadership and direction. But now, with the changes to the engagement strategy, this group will be able to be involved earlier in standards development, and they even have voting rights now on the publication of new standards as well as major revisions of existing standards. We don't do this alone. Standards are created directly with your contributions. All of these changes are designed to ensure that PCI is bringing the right products to market at the right time. So when we talk about the PCI community, It's made up of hundreds, actually thousands. Think about it. It's financial institutions, retailers, fintech companies, payment networks, processors, service providers, hardware and software developers, qualified security assessors, certification labs. The list goes on and on. It's this diversity of membership and diversity of thought that is going to allow PCI standards to continue to protect the global payment system now and into the future. But the most important part of all of that is you. You are on the front line. You help us see around corners to what's happening next. What you can also do is help us identify who is missing from the room today, who needs to be part of this conversation that isn't yet. And we will be able to bring those additional partners into the community by continuing to elevate the value of PCI membership. So when I talk about the value of membership, we have those three levels. We have principal participating organizations, associate participating organizations, and individuals. All of that membership, each of those levels, comes with the ability to contribute to our request for comment periods on new standards. So when I say that you help shape the standards, that's one of the direct ways that you contribute. Membership also comes with the ability to participate in community events like we're having here this week, and you get a discount. You have direct access to PCI materials, PCI participant. You can establish a dialogue, not only with the PCI staff, but also with the people in this room. You can play a role through membership in the Council's future. I believe that global industry collaboration and global adoption of our standards is the key to our success. So, if you've been to a community meeting before, you feel like you already know PCI, I encourage you to become familiar with what's new. There is a lot going on. You're going to hear about that throughout today and tomorrow. Attend as many sessions as you can. If you're new, go to everything. Meet the organizations and the individuals who are shaping the future of payment security. I believe that, like me, you're going to be back at these events year over year. I look forward to meeting and talking with you throughout the next few days. I want to hear what we're getting right, where we're hitting the mark, but I also want to understand what are other opportunities we have for partnering with you. I'm excited about the future of engagement, but I'm also really excited about PCI's future with products and technology. So next, Deanne's going to talk to us about how she and her team are operationalizing these concepts that I'm talking about and really bringing them to life. With that, over to you, Deanne.
Good. Well, thank you, Diana. Good morning to everyone. For those I haven't met, I'm Deanne Zettler, and I'm the new head of product and technology at the Council. Now, I'm relatively new to the organization, and I've been with the Council for just about 4 months now. So when I start talking about my background and what I bring to the organization, you're going to see my background's a little bit different. So just as Gina noted, my background has centered on leading technology strategy, product delivery organizations, and also transformation programs. So when I speak today, and when I speak to you personally, you're going to hear a ton of energy about really driving efficiency, not only with the way we work within the Council, but also with how we work with each of you. Now, some of my favorite work when I was at Discover included leading our most strategic payment partnership programs. And this included initiatives such as launching our very first mobile wallet payment infrastructure, in addition, implementing our white label payment capabilities as well. Now, this was my favorite work really for two primary reasons. First, working with our external stakeholders really required us to raise the bar in our delivery practices, our technology solutions, and also in our payment security. And they also collectively require change almost across the entire payment ecosystem. And that's what I love about my job here as well, is that I have the opportunity to partner with you and raise the bar to produce the highest quality and commercially achievable standards. Now, Gina spoke earlier about the pace of change in payments and how payment technology is continuing to evolve. Now, just like your organizations, PCI must continue to evolve to meet the needs of the industry. And I'd like to spend a little bit of time talking through our vision in terms of how we're going to drive our evolution at the Council. So our team will be focused on really 4 major areas to drive value. That's the how, the what, the who, and the pace. It's how the Council works, it's what the Council works on, it's who the Council works with, and it's the pace by which we work. Now, starting with how the Council works. Well, simply stated, we're going to be shifting towards a product delivery organization. So what this means is that we're going to be driving agility in our standards development practices, and we're also going to be leveraging regular stakeholder input along the way. Now, this includes the end-to-end delivery of our entire life cycle. This includes the standards, the supporting programs, our training, certification, and our quality assessments, all being part of our go-to-market plan. Now, our immediate focus is going to be on driving simplicity, and we're really looking to remove as much complexity as possible from our go-to-market process. So some of the areas that we're currently focusing on include consolidating our standards footprint, ensuring consistency across our standards, and then also eliminating duplication across the portfolio as well. Now, the great news is that PCI already has plans to consolidate and realign our standards, and I'm going to talk about that next in our segment of how our standards fit together. In the meantime, I'll focus on what the Council is going to work on. So we're going to be leveraging more longer-term roadmaps, really focused on our end-to-end delivery. And our goal is to be as forward-looking as possible, out 5 to 10 years. Now, of course, this approach must take input from our stakeholders. We really need to have your input in terms of what content to include, the topics, and suggested timing as well. My team then will take this information and operationalize that roadmap to be very clear on our short, mid, and long-term priorities. And obviously, this is going to be leveraging our advisory groups and also our governing processes as well. So as we focus on who the Council works with, it shouldn't be a surprise, but as Diana noted, our engagement model is extremely important to us. Leveraging stakeholder input early in the life cycle really helps us expand on that request for comment process that we have today. In addition, as you know, within your organizations as well, when you bring stakeholder input early in the life cycle, it brings those more fruitful conversations, and you really have the ability to have alignment early in the life cycle instead of learning about misalignment late in the life cycle. So the bottom line is that the input we get from you is helping the Council make more informed decisions. And then finally, as we talk about the pace in which we work, now some of you might be thinking pace equates to speed. Well, that's not necessarily the case. Rather, we're focused on getting it right together. This includes carefully aligning how we work, what we work on, and who we work with to get it right together. We're more effective working together to produce the highest quality and commercially achievable standards. Now, again, I'm extremely excited to be here in Hanoi. I'm very excited to be on the leadership team as well. We're very committed to driving operational efficiency, really leveraging the expertise we have within the Council and also with you as well. So I look forward to meeting those that I haven't met over the next day or two. This is just the beginning. And Diane, or Gina, I'll turn it back over to you.
Sounds good. Thank you. All right. So thank you, Deanne. Thank you, Diana. Hopefully you can see that we really do come to you from sitting at a variety of seats at the industry's table. And together today, we're here with you and our community. We're going to start on our next part of our journey. And we're going to come and engage with you. We're going to listen to your feedback and find ways that you can help us make sure that we continue, as the Council looks for opportunities to provide value and benefits to you, our community, to continue to support you in regions of the world or in certain segments that need additional education or awareness or our support in helping to drive adoption to PCI security standards. We're going to work with you to stay ahead of the bad actors and threats to our payment space. And we're going to seek excellence in the way that we're engaging with our community to ensure that we can timely support the innovation of the payment space. So, as I wrap up, a little bit of a call to action to all of you. We need you. We need your voice. We need your expertise. And we need your participation. We need you at PCI's table. So thank you.